Oh. Uh, Hi, and welcome to My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 2, Cutie Pox episode. Yes, I'm a little late on this one. And actually, that is completely not my fault. I had bought Skyrim and didn't expect it to be as fun as it was, and then I watched My Little Pony and then some other things that were awesome that I'm about to review, and then a movie that was awesome that I'm about to review, so I got a little tied up. But I'm here now. And yes, I'm late without an intro. Yeah, because I had to reformat my camera, so no intro. Because this is a webcam, not portable. Anywho, this episode is the Cutie Pox episode, aka Cutie Mark Crusaders episode. My disdain for the Cutie Mark Crusaders knows no bounds. Okay, yes it does. But the only reason is because they're one-trick ponies, no pun intended. They're three little ponies who just don't get what they're supposed to do, even though it's blatantly in front of them. Even though there was even a little comic that's called My Little Pony Kids Are Fucking Retarded, where it makes fun of the Cutie Mark Crusaders because they know exactly what they're good at but go the exact opposite direction or someplace way different. So what do I think of this episode? I'm gonna come out right here and say it. This is a bland episode. You don't really need to see it, and if you think me with a tennis ball and a racket was just kind of odd, but you're just kind of like, that was not that spectacular. Welcome to this episode, because, man, it's a 7 out of 10, easy. And a 7.5 out of 10 if you really want to argue it, because there's not much happening here. This episode is actually pretty quick, and I'll sum it up really quick. Apple Bloom is part of the Cutie Mark Crusaders. She wants her cutie mark. She chips a tooth in process of moping over not getting her cutie mark. How many times has she moped about not getting her cutie mark now? Like 4 times? 5? Whatever. Anywho, chipping her tooth, Sakura, being the best pony that she is, offers Apple Bloom to help her with her chipped tooth and, heal it up. And of course, Apple Bloom, being the smart, responsible person who remembers what happens when you mess around near Sakura's house with the poison joke that poisoned the main 6 before, making Flutter Guy, Rainbow Crash, and, Tiny Applejack and all that. Remembering that important lesson of don't mess around with crap in or around Sakura's house, she steals a plant from Sakura, trying to get her cutie mark, because it's her heart's desire, and there's a plant that's called Heart's Desire. Now, some may call this a stupid plan, but Apple Bloom knows better. She remembers from last time. It only takes what supposedly is going into a potion, so it means more ingredients should go in there to make it work right. As you can see, this episode is going to get out of hand, but not in a fun way, which is odd. So, what happens? She does get a cutie mark, and she gets a cutie mark, and she's doing tricks with a hula hoop. Yes, that's her first cutie mark. She gets a hula hoop thing, and then, of course, Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon are being bitches. Bitches be bitches, but, they come in saying, that's a useless talent. I'm like, dude, your name is fucking Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon. Even metaphorically, those are useless talents. But anyway, I digress. Later on, Apple Bloom gets 2 cutie marks, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, and then, and it goes on from there. Twilight deduces that she has the cutie pox. So, not only has Apple Bloom been held responsible for, letting open the spirit of chaos himself, but now has let loose an epidemic on Ponyville. That's 2 strikes, Apple Bloom. 2 strikes. We're waiting for the 3rd to put you in jail. Yeah. Anywho, so, Apple Bloom and her, Ponypox, I'm sorry, Cutie Pox, damn, and a little help from Spike being an idiot, scare off everybody in Ponyville and put them into a frantic fray. So, Zecora, of course, being Zecora, has the answer, and okay, Zecora is a zebra. We all know it. So we can kind of make the correlation that she's black, like I am. And of course she comes in with her zebra sense, or Applejack says she has zebra sense, which is pretty much the equivalent of a redneck coming up to a black person and going, "Was your black sense tingling?" And I'm just like, I'm gonna let that one go. I really am. Because kind of the funny thing is, Zecora kind of admits she has a zebra sense, so I was like, yeah, fuck it, she's fine then. But, yeah, of course Zecora comes in, plants a plant in the ground, but it can only grow with truth. And Apple Bloom has to confess that her cutie marks are fake, and that she stole something from Zecora's house to get them. And once she does, she's cured and happily ever after. Yeah, that's the whole episode. It doesn't... Meh. Nothing really funny happened in this episode either. It's just watching Apple Bloom show off for a good 5 minutes, and then, more yups from Big Macintosh, and nope from Big Macintosh, and then yup from Big Macintosh again. No, I'm serious. Happens 3 times. And, yeah, he was there. And, Granny Smith does a whole, "Hey, when I was a young whippersnapper" joke. And then we move on. The only really memorable thing about this episode, after me watching it 5 times, was the Big Lebowski cameo in the beginning. That was fucking awesome. Honestly, what is the Big Lebowski doing in a kids show? I think we've dropped that this is a kids show a long time ago. But still, Big Lebowski and My Little Pony. You just think about that. If you've ever seen the movie, ooh, not a good role model thing to do. But it was a pretty badass cameo, because they're in a bowling alley, and I'm just like, yeah, that's awesome. But other than that, pretty standard stuff, pretty normal, and I wasn't too impressed, but I wasn't disappointed. This episode didn't really need to be seen, but I could see the writers actually having to rush this one out, because Hub is starting to dip their fingers into this property now, and the production team's starting to change. From the writers, like in Nightmare Night, where Luna's episode was actually rewritten by a new writer, or a new head writer. And so that's why we get a lot of the plot inconsistencies, and I think this is the exact same thing that's happening here, because Apple Bloom forgets what happens when you mess with the plants near Zecora or in Zecora's house. So it's like she didn't remember that one time when they all got poison joke and, wreaked havoc among themselves. So, yeah. But other than that, this episode ain't bad. It's not good, but it's not that bad. You can watch this episode if you want. It's good for a pick-me-up, but other than that, you don't really need to see it. Like, you didn't really need to see me with my old tennis racket. It was kind of unnecessary, but if you saw it, you wouldn't complain. Anywho, that's my review for it, and I promise I will have a better intro and a better review the next episode. So, until I see you guys next time, peace.